My family established the ADL Daniel Pearl Award to honor Danny's memory and to acknowledge those persons who share Danny's passion, who embody his values and who devote themselves to promoting better understanding and tolerance among Jews and Muslims. That is why I'm pleased to be here to witness the presentation of this award to Ms. Pilar Rahola. Danny was one of my childhood friends. He grew up a few blocks away from me in Encino, California. We went to elementary and middle school together, and we hung out together after school. Next January, believe it or not, is going to mark 9 years since Danny's kidnapping and murder. But my memories of Danny don't really focus on those dark and horrible events. I instead remember the bright boy about 9 or 10 years old with brown bangs and a bright smile who was my friend. I remember his laugh and his sense of humor, and most of all, I still feel his gentleness and intelligence. There was something about Danny's spirit and humor that could reach deep inside into a person, and it was his ability to affect people, even those he briefly met. That was one of his most remarkable qualities. He was charismatic in a gentle, unassuming way. He made people want to know him, to be with him, to be liked by him, to tell him things and to be his friend. And getting to know him, he would share his story in turn. And Danny was a natural reporter, one who could easily establish trust and get people to tell him their stories because they knew that he would report them honestly and with respect. He had a special passion for giving voice to those who otherwise would have remained silent and unknown. He was grateful that he was able to live his life in pursuit of that passion and that he was able to make a difference in the world. Ultimately, he died in pursuit of that passion, in the attempt to tell us the story of Al-Qaeda and the Taliban and to help us understand. Now, did Danny's murder make him a hero or a victim? Did his defiance and proclamation of his Jewishness and his family's legacy while enduring the most barbarous of conditions make him a martyr? Though I've asked those questions many times during the past nearly 9 years, and I must admit before this audience and past occasions, I still don't know the answers. But I do know something for certain, however, that Danny died as a Jew and because he was a Jew. I also know that what Danny did before his capture and during it was pure Danny. He remained true to himself and to his passion. He fought. And while he could not keep his killers from taking his life, he denied them the satisfaction of taking his humanity. And so, by endowing this award at the ADL, an institution that for almost 100 years has fought for Danny's values, tolerance, understanding, truth, and respect, by endowing this award here, my family celebrates Danny's humanity and honors his memory and recognizes those like Pilar Rahola who share his passion and work to heal the world. Thank you.
She was born and raised in Barcelona in a traditional Catholic and staunchly Republican family. As an activist against injustice, she became outraged by the manner in which blatant anti-Semitism had made its way into leftist ideology and polite society, unchecked, and is deeply concerned about the high level of anti-Jewish sentiment in her native Spain and in other European countries. I quote, "I feel Jewish because I am European, and that is the only moral condition that can redeem a European from his or her own shameful past," she had said. Ms. Rahola writes in 3 Spanish newspapers and works for the other print, TV, and for other TV, print, and radio media. She has published many books, both in Catalan and Spanish, including a reference text called On Behalf of Israel, with numerous translations. For her dedicated commitment to an honest and accountable journalistic code of ethics, and for speaking out honestly, directly, continuously, courageously to the public, we, and I am sure Danny is honored that we at the ADL today present the 2010 Daniel Pearl Award to Pilar Rahola. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome them. And here he comes. Here he comes. You want to get on the other side?
Thank you.
And I have a check. Wait. And a check.
Thank you. Thank you. Dear Abraham, dear friends of IDL, good morning. Without doubt, he must be afraid. He faces the camera, but where is his gaze aim? Perhaps towards his family, his ancestral memory, his identity. Or perhaps he is looking beyond towards the broken future, the woman he loves, the son he will never know. His last words. My name is Daniel Pearl. I am a Jewish American from Encino, California, USA. Today is February 1st, 2002. He is 38 years old and is about to be brutally murdered. My father Jewish, my mother Jewish, I am Jewish. The Yemeni that will decapitate him will take almost 2 minutes to cut off his head. He will begin very slowly, under the ear, to rip the vocal cords and prevent the shout. My family follows Judaism. We've made numerous family visits to Israel. From this point on, the brutal narration of a murder, whose details, masterly described by Bernard Henri Lévy, would horrify even Dante's own Inferno. The victim turned into a metaphor of the beauty of life. The assassin, symbol of the human being devoid of soul, of the defeat of humanity, who has turned him into a monster. Back in the town of Bnei Brak, there is a street named after my great-grandfather, Chaim Pearl, who is one of the founders of the town. And all will be over. His hopes, his loves, his dreams. My name is Daniel Pearl, and the executioner will triumphantly display his cleft head before the camera as a trophy. Thank you. First of all, thank you for this moving day, which commits me beyond doubt, beyond frailty, and beyond fear. To be granted the award that bears the name of Daniel Pearl is more than an extraordinary honor. It is a duty. My name is Pilar Rahola. I was born in the old Sepharad, from a Catholic family. I consider myself a left-winger, and I am a journalist. But as a civil rights fighter, and as a journalist who searches for reported truth, my name is also Daniel Pearl. I was born in Encino, and I am Jewish. All those of us who love civilization, those of us who conceive the world under the values of modernity, are and will always be Daniel Pearl. Because beyond our ideological, religious, or cultural differences, we are part of a civic inheritance which commits us to democracy. And they have declared war against that inheritance. Daniel Pearl's assassins don't only decapitate helpless victims, murder hundreds in the Welsh trains, or kill thousands in the city's skyscrapers. Above all, they try to behead the principles of freedom. Daniel Pearl's death, as do the death of all those who have fallen under the insanity of Islamic fundamentalism, concerns us all, and not only for the sake of compassion. It concerns us, for it is a bullet that is aimed at each one of us, regardless of our origin. Every woman that breathes with her own lungs and conquests her future. Every man who loves culture and progress. Every child who is educated to be tolerant and free. Every God which doesn't hate but rather loves. Every one of them has a bullet with their name written on it. We are faced with a new totalitarianism, natural heir to Stalinism and Nazism, as horrendous as both of them, and perhaps more lethal. The question now is, as it always was, are we doing the right thing to defend ourselves? I am only a laborer of ideas, and it is not up to me to define the intelligence strategies that fight this ideology. Yet, I uphold my critical spirit regarding many political and military decisions, and I don't always like our leaders nor their actions. However, it is also true that the Islamofascist ideology has left us baffled and frightened and has shown our weaknesses. Today, free societies are technologically more advanced, militarily stronger, and more intercommunicated. But our enemy is also stronger than ever. It is the global jihad, with the brain and heart in the 8th century, but connected by satellite with 21st century technology. Look at Iran, how it has laughed at the well and moved on inexorably towards the fearful nuclear domination. An Islamic Hitler with a nuclear bomb. Who can or wants to stop him? A useless United Nations, incapable of reacting beyond rhetoric and bureaucracy? Poor Eleanor Roosevelt, should she wake up and see into what has become her dream of the League of Nations? Can Europe stop it, trapped in its economic ambitions, its infighting, and its political incapacity? If the United Nations doesn't know what is its role in the world, Europe doesn't even know what it is itself. Will countries such as China or Russia, countries which are rather allies to this madness, stop it? Will the USA, which every day seems more lost regarding its own role in the international arena, stop it? Sincerely, the world's only hope seems to be Israel, which, as it defends itself from a monster, defends us all.